What's going on, Seahawks Nation? This is Victor, and wow, we've got some absolute blockbuster news to talk about today. The Seahawks are marching through the 49ers, getting ready to host the NFC Championship game, and now we're learning that John Schneider almost pulled off one of the biggest trades in franchise history. I'm talking about a 2-for-1 deal involving DK Metcalf, Geno Smith, and a superstar. Yeah, let that sink in for a second before we dive deep into what this trade would have meant, how close it really was, and whether it could still happen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help us hit that incredible goal of 1,500 subscribers. Seahawks Nation is growing fast, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, let's break this thing down. What really happened? The leaked trade talks. According to ESPN's Brady Henderson, the Seahawks were actively pushing to trade for Max Crosby, one of the most dominant edge rushers in the NFL. At the NFL Combine, during what was described as a free-flowing conversation, John Schneider floated a deal that would have sent Geno Smith, DK Metcalf to the Las Vegas Raiders in exchange for Max Crosby. That's a true 2-for-1 blockbuster, and it tells us something huge. The Seahawks were not just resetting the roster. They were hunting elite, franchise-changing talent. Why Max Crosby is a game wrecker, let's talk facts. Max Crosby is not just a good pass rusher, he's elite. 5-time Pro Bowler coming off seasons with double-digit sacks, one of the league leaders in QB pressures, QB hits pass rush win rate in 2024 alone. Crosby recorded 14.5 sacks, 90-plus pressures, constant double teams, and still produced, and because of that dominance, the Raiders gave him a 3-year, $106 million extension, making him one of the highest-paid defensive players in NFL history. That's the level of player Seattle was targeting. Why the Raiders said no for now? The Raiders initially wanted Matthew Stafford, but once that fell apart, they turned their attention to Geno Smith. That's when Schneider saw an opening. But ultimately, Las Vegas shut it down and chose to lock up Crosby long-term. However, and this is important, the relationship between Crosby and the Raiders is reportedly strained. According to The Athletic's Diana Russini, Crosby was furious about being shut down late in the season so the Raiders could position themselves for the No. 1 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Crosby wants to win, and he'll be 29 years old this summer. That matters. Why the Seahawks are still a team to watch even without Crosby. Let's be clear, Seattle's pass rush has been legit. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Uchenna Nwasu Mave. This unit has been applying pressure consistently and playing fast, physical football. Now imagine adding Max Crosby to that group. That's not just good, that's championship level. Scary. And if the Raiders decide they can't repair that relationship, Seattle has draft capital cap flexibility. A roster built to win right now, this team would absolutely pick up the phone again. What this tells us about John Schneider? This leak tells me something I love as a Seahawks fan. John Schneider is aggressive, creative, willing to swing big. Trading Geno and DK would have been painful emotionally, no doubt. But football-wise, it shows Seattle is committed to elite trench play and defensive dominance. That's how you win Super Bowls. Now, I want to hear from you, Seahawks Nation. Would you have done this trade? Would you trade DK Metcalf and Geno Smith for Max Crosby? Or do you love the direction Seattle is on right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and help us hit that 1,500 subscriber milestone. This channel is for real Seahawks fans. No fluff, no hype without facts. This is Victor. This is Seahawks Nation Update. And as always, go Hawks!